Welcome, Jessa, back to the Sports Analyst Podcast, where, yeah, that's the mood right now. Um, BYU gets absolutely schmacked. Ohio State loses to Indiana. Um, I mean, that's about it. That's about as bad as it can
Wait,
get.
wait.
Uh,
Wasn't there a third one?
well, there was. I wasn't going to bring the workplace into this, but the Falcons
Okay.
did lose 37-9 and didn't score a touchdown on Sunday. It's been a rough weekend for me. What about you, Jess? How are
Oh
you
yeah,
feeling?
100%. I remember us saying this earlier in the year, coming off of, in fact, it was a couple weeks ago where we said this was the worst weekend for anything that we wanted to happen. And we're generally fans of underdogs. And conference championship weekend, I don't think a single team won. Like Georgia was the lone maybe winner of the weekend where I was like, yeah, I'd love to see Georgia smack Alabama, and they did. But apparently they didn't, according to the committee. They didn't, so that's cool. We might touch on that later,
Yeah.
but
Oh
honestly,
yeah.
I think both you and I'm kind of like I don't have anything else to give. Like we're both really apathetic about it. And
Yeah.
so I'm not surprised at anything that the committee did. So we'll talk about that. But I see on the notes, you deleted it. You
Yeah.
shortened your rant about Notre Dame.
Yes.
Please give me your rant about another program that we're really not surprised with.
Notre Dame equals cowards. That is my rant. I had a longer rant written out. Jessica can attest it was full of profanity, and it was basically it was the rant from the end of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation when he opens his Christmas bonus. It was basically that, but about Notre Dame. But I decided to shorten it and just call them cowards because we have a lot to get to, Jessa. We can't. I don't want to even give them the time of day. Just see. I'm already starting. I'm already starting. Cowards, cowards, cowards.
Yeah, if you need the history of BYU and Notre Dame, just go Google Notre Dame BYU home and home series and just read the read the they are now I think up to they owe us 5 games, maybe 4 that they promised us at one point and then backed out. So no, I don't think either of us are surprised at this, and I think that's a good way to sum it up. Everybody, I haven't seen a single person defending Notre Dame, which feels so good. They are the
Good.
national laughing stock right now. It's
They should
great.
be.
Love it.
There is. They have not contributed a single thing to the sport of college football since Rudy. They are completely irrelevant and worthless. So
Which sucks
that,
because I actually like Marcus Freeman. Like I actually like him, but
yeah,
after
no,
this, I'm
no,
sorry, dude. Like you have some trust to rebuild. It's
yep,
not looking good for you, bud.
yeah, and already we've spent way more time than they deserve. They're a joke. I think, Jessa, we can officially say this is the last time we'll talk about Notre Dame on this podcast,
Yeah,
right?
I think that's good.
I,
I think that's good.
we will never speak their name again, and the last thing that you will ever hear us say about Notre Dame, cowards.
Cowards.
All
Great.
right, speaking of
Moving on.
cowards, BYU's offense. Um, that was absolutely brutal, Jessa. It probably started in the worst possible way that it ever could have in BYU marching down the field, 7 plays, 90 yards, or it was more than 7 plays. It was like 14 plays, right?
Yeah,
It
but it
was
was 90 yards.
90 yards, 3 of 3 on third down. We scored a touchdown. It was the hope. It was the anglerfish light dangling in front of the big scary teeth, and all the BYU fans started to swim towards it. And then here comes A-Rod and the Texas Tech defense. Chomp, chomp, chomp. And Jared turns it off after the fake punt because that was it. That's all I can handle. I don't even know where to start, Jess.
Well, let's start there. Let's start maybe with the fact that things just didn't bounce our way. In the first half, there were 3 or 4 turnover opportunities that we
Yep.
maybe just didn't see the ball or just weird. weird bounces. And in a game like that, you have to take advantage of at least like one or two of those.
Yep.
And throughout the whole game, I was thinking to myself, okay, we'll get one eventually, right? We'll get one eventually. Because again, you see that hope, right? So the first half, actually, I am going to be honest, the first half was a fun watch. I'm gonna be real.
Oh, that's a
Until
hot take.
I know
Hot take
that
right
is a
here.
hot take, but it was because we were hopeful, right? Maybe the first quarter, and then
Yeah.
Texas Tech got that huge pass, um, touchdown. I don't even know if you can call it a touchdown
Oh,
because he
on the
stepped out of, yeah. So he stepped out of bounds as
shove
well.
it
He
off.
stepped out of bounds. He two hand shoved Shmev, which ESPN refuses to show, and then
Oh, of course.
and you have to. I guess this isn't a foul, but the running back just went straight for Isaiah Glasker's knees and took him out for an entire quarter as he was rushing. I guess that's okay. Not in the NFL, it's not okay, but I
When
guess in
Texas Tech
college it
does it,
is.
it's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. But there were three opportunities maybe for our coaches or the refs to, and it was kind of all downhill from there.
Yeah. No, it really was. That was the last hope that BYU had was stopping them there. And like you said, we didn't get any of the like lucky bounces. And not only do you need those in a game like this, but you need them early. You need to flip the game script. You can't do exactly what BYU did and just play into whatever Texas Tech wants to do, right? We needed to steal an extra possession and go up two scores and force them to play from behind. We needed to get them out of their funk. We needed to put the pressure on them, and we didn't. We had one good moment, and that was that drive. And that was it. I really did turn it off after the fake punt. It the going for it on our fake punt in our was it our third possession of the game.
In
We
our own
scored,
territory when we had momentum,
yes, right, and so that like signaled to me that we had nothing else. That was like we had no other like game plan. We had no other like things in the arsenal, stuff in the bag. That was it. We were that desperate that on our third drive of the game, we had to go for a fake punt and have Sam Vanderhaar. That
it was 0 for 3 on fake punts this year, I believe, right? Maybe 1 for 3.
I can't. Yeah,
I can
I
only
don't
think
think
of
I
his bad
remember.
ones.
Yes, I don't remember a fake punt
So it's proven
succeeding
that
this year.
it doesn't work,
And that
right?
was quite possibly, not only was the guy not open, that was quite possibly the worst throw I have ever seen a human being make with a football.
Yeah, no
It was
chance.
horrific.
No
No,
chance.
not even a chance of no. And so I was done. I tuned out. I put my phone like in the other room, and I just decided to opt out. Didn't follow the rest of the game. Obviously, went and looked at the box score like on Sunday. It was ugly. It looked like Bear obviously never recovered after that injury right before the touchdown. Um, is there anything else to say, Jess, besides we are just not on the same level as Texas Tech?
Yes. Yes. So to your point about Bear, we will never know how much that impacted the game plan, which is sad to me. There's like this unknown of people who are like, oh, well, the game would have gone different had Bear stayed healthy and still been a running threat. And that could be true, right? Or it also could be true that we actually didn't change the game plan all that much and Bear was just in there and we were too one-dimensional on offense to get anything going, right? All of
Which
our
is what we were worried
fears,
about in the first place.
thank you. All of our fears leading up to this were shown in both matchups at Texas Tech. And we heard it with A-Rod in the beginning of the game. His game plan was, well, we need to be able to run the ball. Okay, let's go back to what Doug said. If your game plan is to beat them at the line of the scrimmage, that offensive line costs half as much as our entire football program does. Okay, sorry, defensive line costs half as okay, you're not gonna outmuscle them. And if that was our game plan, then guys, we can't be disappointed. We can't be thinking what if this had gone differently? We were never going to win that game if that was our game plan. That's just a fact of sports. Okay? If your game plan's not good enough, especially in football, you cannot overcome a bad game plan. And it wasn't that it was a bad game plan necessarily. Maybe it was. Okay. I don't know enough about football. It was a bad matchup. That's for
Yep.
dang sure, right? So we'll never know if Bear's injury was why we played bad because We can't see the other side. And we don't deal in hypotheticals.
Nope. No. No. There is no use talking about something that could have been. BYU lost this game handily.
Yep.
I think my biggest takeaway, and again, we talked about this before, right? We need to take appreciation of where we are as a program before we get smacked by Texas Tech again. Okay. BYU had a true freshman quarterback who'd been in the system for like 4 months before starting a game, and we went 11-1 and made the conference championship game. I think that is a huge step from where we were last year. Last year, we had a veteran quarterback, right, with Jake. He had played college football. He knew what he was doing. He came in, and we went 10-2, missed out on the conference championship game with a stupid tiebreaker that doesn't even, I still don't want to talk about it. Now we have taken another step in the right direction. We have gone from having a great season to having a great season and making the conference championship game. But I think today or Saturday showed us how far we truly have to go as a program to compete at the highest level. Now, we have seen that we are committed to winning at a high level. I don't I There is still yet to be seen, can we reach that highest level? I I'm not saying that we need to be happy and expect this and have to, this shouldn't be the ceiling of our expectations. I think we should, as fans especially, expect BYU to eventually take that next step, right? To take Texas Tech did it, right? They took the next step to competing at the highest level. BYU can, but we are not there yet. We have not taken that step yet, and it was painfully obvious on Saturday.
100%. The paradigm shift or the perspective shift that should have happened before the game is happening afterwards. One piece of this is Texas Tech has had 10 years of power conference resources, right? We've had
Yep.
three. BYU is known for doing more with less, right? So this is my hot take, and we're gonna get to yours. But I actually don't think this is a hot take. This is just how sports are. And I'm going to
Yep.
illustrate it with a story. When I was
Okay.
17, I think I was a sophomore in high school, and I was playing varsity basketball as a sophomore, which I didn't want to be doing. I came into it like I was like, I'm good at basketball. I just want it to be fun. And then got sucked into this hyper competitive environment and had to really be like, oh wow, this is the best
This is
basketball coach in the state. Like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm growing every day, but I'm crappy every day. Anyways, so that's an elite. Like Coach Warner at some point is going to coach BYU women's basketball. I'm just going to tell everybody she coaches Old Peak right now. Anyways, so I'm in this situation and I remember dealing with all of these emotions and like how I had thought about sports and the naivety and the idealism that I had brought into like, hey, everything's fun. If I work really hard, I can do everything. And I remember sitting down with Doug and being like, Doug, I really believe that if I just work really hard, I could dunk. Like I could dunk a basketball. I just believe that I could do that. And he sat me down and he said, Jessa, you're a 5'9" white girl. If you have a regular life and if you don't devote every single second of your day to jumping higher, you will never dunk a basketball on a 10-foot rim. And from that moment forward, I realized that 1+1 sometimes doesn't equal three, doesn't equal Jessa dunking a basketball. 1+1 equals two. And if you want to get to three, you've got to add another two into the equation, right? Okay, that sets the stage. BYU is flat out not talented enough to compete with the big boys. We flat out do not have the resources committed to the football program as of right now, December 8th, to get the talent we need to compete with an Ohio State, a Georgia, okay?
a Texas Tech.
A Texas Tech. Even Texas Tech doesn't have the resources yet that an Ohio State and a Georgia has. So let me throw some numbers out at you. And this goes into the playoff, okay? You're like, no, it's the best teams. No, it's not. No, it's
It,
not. It actually, yes, it is. And do you know what the best teams are? The best teams are the ones who spend the most on their roster. That is what the best teams are. That go get the 4 and 5 star recruits. I'm sorry, that is the reality of the world that we live in. You cannot go with a 5'9" Parker Kingston and go play against a Georgia DB and say, okay, PK, you're really talented, you're really fast, go do your thing. That Georgia DB who has had better training, better genetics, better at everything, that Georgia TV is just better than Parker Kingston. And if you have 11 of them on the field versus 11 Parker Kingstons, BYU is going to lose every single time, 9 out of 10 times. Okay. So let me tell you right now, playoff teams ahead of us, 5 SEC teams. Do you want to know how much they have in rev share and NIL money?
I do. I do want to know.
40 million to $70 million. That's total rev share, and that's just for football, by the way. Just
Yeah,
for
yeah.
football. Okay. Big Ten is more than that. They've got
Oh,
65 mil to 85 mil from Oregon to Ohio State. Okay. One Big 12 team made the playoffs ahead of us, and they were a conference champ, right? So that
yep.
makes up for they have 45 to 55 million, and then two G6 teams, conference champs, and Miami is in there, and I would put them somewhere in between the Big Ten and the SEC as far as investment in the program. If you go look at
Yeah.
the talent composite, whether it's transfer portal and recruiting, line up. More money equals more talent. Look at Auburn, right? And then you need that third piece, which is culture, and that
Right.
BYU has that third piece, right? Okay, so
Yes.
we just heard this. BYU has about 30 to 35 million with Kalani's new contract.
All right. Okay. So what I'm
No, that's before Kalani's new contract. Sorry, my bad.
before.
Yes,
So hopefully we are moving upwards.
towards the Texas Tech.
We
Like,
we have to about what I'm hearing is that we have to about double our current investment in recruiting and player development, and basically just the talent acquisition. Uh, we have to double that in order to be competitive, uh, physically at the level of these other teams.
yep. And you can play your violin and say no, but they have heart and they have effort. Well, if you don't have an Andy Reid or a Lavelle Edwards who is literally creating new types of offense or innovating to make up for that talent gap, like Doug said, you're not going to, and we don't have that. Very obviously, we saw that on Saturday. We do not have that. So our strategy is to compete with talent. And to your point, I don't know that we will. I'm not going to predict the future. Okay. I don't know if we will ever get there, but the expectation has to be like, hey, in order for us to compete, we need to win our conference. And in order to win our conference, we've got to get on the same level as Texas Tech. I think that's
Yes.
achievable for us.
Yes, yes. And I think that's a great way to move this conversation along because moving forward for BYU, like we don't need to be the Ohio State and like let's be honest, none of us ever have really expected that, right? Like
Right.
this is it's kind of crazy we're having this conversation. We do need, right? Like it is very reasonable of us to say that we need to be on the same level as Texas Tech. We should be competing for conference championships. There's no reason that we shouldn't be, right?
Right.
Like if somebody can come to me and name me a reason BYU shouldn't be competing for a conference championship, I'll tell you that you're a casual and you don't care about football and you don't know what you're talking about.
He doesn't know ball. He's a casual.
Exactly. Casual. The little kids at the lemonade stand in the Fansville commercial.
Yep.
This guy's not committed to winning at the highest level. Um, I think this is a great stepping stone for BYU moving forward. We've seen what it takes. We've seen how much it's going to take to get there. And I think that was part of what Kalani was lobbying for is, hey, we want to get to where Texas Tech is. We need to compete at the same we need to win like we want to win the conference championship, right? That is the goal. So we need to invest more. And I think moving forward, hopefully, right, with this new investment in the program, with Kalani staying and all that, blah 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 blah. Hopefully, we see that start to happen over the next couple of years. Like you said, I don't know if it will just snap our fingers Texas Tech style and get up there, and I don't know if it's going to take 10 to 20 years, but I think that we can expect BYU to be in a very similar position to this year for the coming years, right? Would you say that's
Right.
fair?
There's no
Like,
reason, unless the other members of the conference level up as well, right? There's no reason that we shouldn't be able to maintain the standard that we set this season.
right, right, and even like I think 24 and 25 should be BYU's football expectations for the next like 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Like you again, maybe this is us being super reactionary because we've had 2 good years and maybe everything will come crashing back down
True.
next year.
True.
Right? That's obviously could happen. But I think at this point, we realize we're not competing at like a playoff level, right? With all these people, all these huge bigwigs.
It's the
But I,
criteria they won't tell you, right?
right,
What they
exactly.
tell you, we're 100% playing at a playoff level. Our resume is, but what they're not telling you is these other teams are more invested and we trust their talent more. Keep going.
No, 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 exactly. And I think you can't rely, like, you can't take that into account,
Yeah,
right? You can't build your program off of, oh, what does the committee want this year? What is this? Like, let's just try
exactly.
to do whatever the committee wants, right? You want to compete to win championships, and this is how you do it: is you have to invest. And BYU has seen, okay, it's going to take a whole nother level of player. It's going to take a whole nother layer of investment in our program. And I think that we've seen that they're willing to take those steps, and we'll see that play out in the next 4 or 5 years if they truly have.
Yep. I agree. The future hopefully is bright. We'll see where we go. We also have to remember, I'm going to temper our expectations that yes, we're trending upwards, but it's not linear. So,
Yes, it's not a
right? So
straight line.
next year we could go 8-4. And just thank your lucky stars that that's a down year. Okay. Remember when it was 3-9? Remember when it was 5-7? Right? We've been around long enough to know. But the trending is up to where our floor now is raised, but our ceiling is also raised. I don't think that's unreasonable
Yes.
to expect.
Yeah. All this is to say we are just trying to find some positive spin on what was an absolutely brutal and horrific loss on a very big national stage once again.
Yep.
Um, Surprise, surprise, we didn't make the playoffs. I don't think any of us really ever expected that. It was, what is it? We needed like 18 things to happen that like could have gone our way in the last 3 weeks, and we got two of them,
Yeah.
right? Like it just wasn't in the cards. It wasn't in the cards, and we had two chances to make our claim, and we absolutely did not. But we are going to the Peach Bowl or to the Pop Tarts Bowl. The Pop Tarts,
Yeah.
the Pop Tarts are here. We called it. This is what we wanted, Jessa.
This is what we wanted. The analysis on this podcast is top tier because we called it a month ago. Nay, maybe at the beginning of the season, we said we wanted the Pop Tarts Bowl, and we got the Pop Tarts Bowl. I will say I
Yep.
was going to go. Okay, I have to make it known. Christmas, AJ's flying in that day. I will not be there, but we should do like a watch party or at least a Discord or something on that day. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, we absolutely should. I mean, it's the Pop Tarts Bowl. Of course, it's going to be fun.
Yeah. It,
I'm very very excited for this game. Georgia Tech is a great opponent, much better than any hypothetical opponent that it was going to be in the hours leading up to the announcement. Georgia Tech is the perfect comp for BYU. Like this is the ACC's like second best or third best team versus the Big 12 second best team. Uh, Two just super gritty, like thick A, running quarterbacks, these grinded out physical, like we pride our program on being physical and gritty and like playing through bloodstains. What a just absolutely banger of a matchup. I'm so excited for this.
Me too. I respect Brent Key. He is similar to Kalani in the sense that he is they're both alums of their
Yep,
respective schools. They were both GAs at the same time, according to Kalani, and they're committed to taking a program that does more with less
yep,
and putting together great seasons. I'm ecstatic. Like I wanted Georgia Tech from the beginning. As far as a feel good matchup, like I didn't want Miami. I didn't want
yep.
SMU. I didn't know what I kind of wanted that one stupid team that we're not going to talk about, but it's so fun. And Pop-Tarts Bowl,
I mean,
dude, it's going to be great.
come on.
Also, I'm just going to say this. If we had made the playoffs, there's a higher likelihood that our season ends on a loss. The likelihood that our season ends on a win just went up. I'm not saying it's
Very
guaranteed,
high.
but I am saying BYU is still a good football team. We'll break it down later, but I'm very excited.
Yes, we definitely will do a full breakdown, but I'm very excited to see how BYU's offense looks. I mean, that BYU's offense versus Texas Tech and BYU's offense versus any other team that we played this year. the results have been wildly different.
Yep.
The eye test maybe not super different, but the results have been very different, right?
Yep.
And I'm excited to see how we defend against Haynes King. Like we haven't
Yep.
really played a good running quarterback, and yes, I know we played Utah, and I'll say it again: we have not played a good running quarterback this year. So I'm very excited to see how it happens, and I think both of these programs seem like they care about the bowl games, right? Like
Yes.
Georgia Tech is a like heart in the right place, prideful. We love football. We love playing football, and we're going to play our all every time. Kalani absolutely cares about bowl games and absolutely is going to come out and want to win and have the team ready, right? We saw
Yep.
that last year.
Yep.
So,
I'm pretty tuned in to what the world is saying right now in the college football world. And most like great college football fans are saying this truly is the people's national championship. That's what they say, right? That's what the Pop Tarts team says. But the people are like, I care more about this game's going to be way more fun than any of the playoff games. So
oh yeah,
there's so much to be grateful for. I'm so excited. Yeah.
yeah, it's the dream matchup that we like. If you would have told me that BYU was going to play Georgia Tech in a top 20 matchup, or Georgia Tech was top 20, I don't know if they're top 20 anymore. Who cares about the rankings?
Yeah.
But BYU is going to play Georgia Tech in the Pop Tarts Bowl. I would have told you, sign me up right now. Stamp of approval. Get me to that point. Cannot be disappointed in this
Yep.
matchup at all.
Yep. So I guess the next thing to talk about is maybe less happy, but also at the same time, I have not committed more energy to this. We all already talked about it, but the playoff field is set. Jared, have you looked at the bracket?
I've not. I didn't watch the selection show. I haven't looked at any social. I don't have social media, so I haven't seen that. All I saw was the 118 texts that came in while I was working. I was like doing my thing on my computer during the Falcons game, and I just see little like ding, 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 like literally like every 40 seconds, somebody
Yep.
was sending a new text to sports
We were
analyst.
live tweeting the event. Ty was. I was watching it on mute because I literally can't listen to ESPN sound.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's
Yeah.
horrible. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like I still couldn't tell you who was playing in what bowl games and what. I
I
can
don't know
tell you
either.
that Ohio State is going to play the winner of Miami and Texas A&M. One, not interested in that game in the slightest. Two, the fact that Miami's in and Notre Dame isn't, and they made the switch after 4 weeks of saying Notre Dame was ahead of Miami, and then all of a sudden switching it without teams playing a game, like it tells you everything you need to know. The playoff is a farce.
Yeah.
It's a fraudulent operation. It is a fake. It's for television. It's not a sporting event. It's closer to the WWE than it is to the NFL. It's closer to the NBA. This is just a setup for money and viewership. This is not about sports. This is not about earning it. This is not about meritocracy. It it doesn't matter. It's fake. And like anyone who says differently is selling something, right? Am I
100%.
wrong on this, Jess?
No, no, I don't think so. It's not, we've talked about it from the very beginning, because I think you're not wrong in saying that it's not a sporting event, right? By definition, it's an invitational. By definition, it is an invitational, right?
Yep.
So we're going to treat it as such. There's a lot of parading. The thing that bugs me, and this is what uh Provo Dave said, is you can't piss on my head and tell me it's raining. The
Right.
playoff will tell you that it's about deserving it and about earning it on the field. It is 100. Don't. You can't say one thing and then do thing. Actually, you can. They've proven.
They have done it.
They just think we're so stupid and that we'll go along with it. 100%. No, it's an invitational. It's not going to be as much fun as the Pop Tarts Bowl. And there is
No.
no logic that will line up with all of their decisions. There's maybe
No.
logic that'll line up for 5 out of 10 decisions, but then the exact opposite is true for the other five.
Yep.
So I'm with you. I will watch every probably not. I'll keep up with every non-SEC matchup, but the SEC matchups just don't interest me.
Yeah. I'm not interested in watching any of the playoff games. I'm sorry. I'm not. Like even the Ohio State game, like I'm very TBD. Like I said from the beginning of the season, I
You
wanted to
did.
beat Utah and win the Big 12, and I wanted to beat Michigan, and I wanted to win the Big 10. And we beat our rivals, which is number one, the most important thing, and we lost the conference championship games. So, like, everything else is gravy, right? I don't care if Ohio State has to play. Again, I hate the playoff. I think it's stupid. I'm not going to watch. This bowl slate, okay? We only have 6.5 minutes left on this free Zoom, Jess. So I'm not going
Take
to get
all of it.
into it.
No, take all of it. Tell us about bowl games, Jared.
I would like to fight everyone who has ever said bowl games don't matter, okay? You are a fake college football fan if you say bowl games don't matter, okay? I'm saying it, all right? I'm calling out literally anyone who has ever said that, okay? I'm not going to call out names, but you know who you are in sports analyst chat saying that bowl games are lame and bowl games don't matter as if the playoff matters. Like, absolutely just asinine take, okay? Bowl games are what is great about college football. The reason that we love college football is because it is not the NFL, because it is different. The whole point in having college football, okay, is that the players are playing for the love of the game. Yes, that has gotten lost. Yes, not every player is playing for the love of the game anymore. But you know who is playing for the love of the game? Okay? Every single player that is playing in these bowl games. Okay? There's been the precedent set by Christian McCaffrey that you can just opt out of your bowl game if you are scared of being injured, or if you are Bo Pribula and want to transfer off of a playoff team with a chance to win a national title, and you transfer off before the playoff even starts. Okay? All the people that do not play in bowl games, that one school that shall not be named, all the players that don't play in bowl games. Okay, I'm looking at you, Christian McCaffrey. I'm looking at you, Justin Jefferson. Like all these players that just opted out. Okay, they do not care about college football. They are lame. They are not playing for the love of the game. Bryson Barnes, who's signing up for Utah State in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl against Washington State, he cares about college football, okay? He cares about playing in his game. You know who else cares? Freaking BYU and Bear Bachmeyer and freaking 47 jersey going up against Haynes King, okay? You know who else cares? TCU. They're going on to play USC and Lincoln Riley, okay? They care about football. If you don't care about bowl games, you don't care about college football. This is where it shows. This is where the passion for the game, just loving to win a bowl game, not because you get paid extra if you win, not because you get to go to the NFL if you win. It's because you love playing a freaking sporting event. And that is why you play the freaking game, people. And it's because you see it in its utmost, the most purest form is in bowl season, okay? Plus, you got Pop Tarts committing like suicide in a toaster, and they love it, okay? Bowl game is amazing, and if you don't like, I've said it 100 times. You know what I'm going to say.
Yep. Yep. I was just gonna say too about the playoffs. I hope this adds to what you just said because that was beautiful. Okay? The playoff is like a worse version of the bowl games because you've still got the New Year's Six. It's like they've put lipstick on a no, they've put taken something pretty and they've put in something ugly on it.
They put a
Whatever.
pig on the lipstick.
Yeah, they took it lipstick and then they put a pig on it and then they tried to sell it. They gave it to a pig and then they tried to sell it and it was used lipstick. This is a good analogy. Okay. You still have the New Year's Six bowls, right? You've just strung them together in a weird way that pisses everybody off. You've added
Yep.
something weird to it, to exactly what you said. There's lots of things, there's less and less things that make college football unique, and bowls are one of the last remaining ones. So it makes me really, really sad to see stupid teams like half the Big 12 turn down bowl invites. Like,
Yep.
I'm gonna sound like a boomer here. What is happening with this generation? What is that? Right? Like you said, they don't have any love for the game, the ones who are
Yep.
opting out. I think there are select few reasons to opt out. I think maybe Christian McCaffrey was a good one because he's so injury prone. I don't know. But no, never mind. I take that back
His
for the love
injuries
of the
are
game.
karma
No,
from him opting out.
I agree. I agree. So I love that take, and I agree that bowls are what make college football really, really special, regardless
Yep.
of the way you sell it. So I
Yep.
am for more bowl games.
Yes. Let me let me just read you a couple of these bowl matchups, Jess, that illustrate the
Oh,
point that we're making here, okay?
yes.
Old Dominion versus South Florida in the Cure Bowl. Okay?
Amazing.
If you are not locked into this bowl game, you're not a college football fan, right? Like you don't like college football. I'm sorry. That is the truth, okay? How
That's
about this
so
one?
good.
Missouri State versus Arkansas State in the Xbox Bowl,
Oh, that's
okay?
great.
Louisiana versus Delaware in the 68 Ventures Bowl, okay? You think these players are, they don't care? You think these players are just playing for money? Bro, who the hell is going to Delaware to try and win a national title? Dog. Like, this is college football at its
This is
purest.
their first, this is
Kennesaw
their,
State versus, sorry,
go, go,
Jess, go
go, go,
ahead.
go. You said Kennesaw State. I'm gonna let you
Kennesaw
finish.
State versus Western Michigan. This is the MAC champion versus the Conference USA champion on some teal turf, bro. This is college football. This is why we love it. Come on.
Seriously, every single one of those, I can think of a storyline that is just fantastic. Delaware,
Yes.
second year in FBS is their first bowl eligible season, making it. Boom. Kennesaw State, 10 win Kennesaw State. Okay. Old
After going 2
Dominion.
and 10 last year.
Yes, Old Dominion was power rated in the top 10 of my algorithm for the first 6 weeks of the season. Amazing. Cinema,
Yes.
cinema. That's all we have to
Cinema.
say. Love it.
UNLV Ohio, Mountain West power with an exciting offense versus this MAC champion that was supposed to blow out the rest of the MAC and is underachieved. Cal versus Hawaii, Toledo versus Louisville. Toledo, Louisville. Like, these are incredible matchups, guys. Pitt versus ECU, Penn State, Clemson, the national title
The
game from
Fraud
the
Bowl.
preseason.
The Fraud Bowl.